Hey artists, for today's practice, we are going to be working with the color green for our monochromatic value scale. We are going to be using more than one shade of green though today. We're going to get our drawing pencil, hopefully a pencil sharpener, and we're going to pick a dark green. And it's okay if your colors don't match mine exactly. And I'm also going to pick a lighter green. It's like a medium shade of green. And we're going to be working with that as well. And then we want to make sure that we are going to use a black pencil as well. And we're going to establish our value scale with a drawing pencil, making a large rectangular box, and then we're going to divide it into 6 sections. And then we're going to draw another rectangular box, and this time we're not going to divide this. We're going to keep it open so that our colored pencils can have more of a natural change from darkness to lightness and have a true gradient as they shift from the shadow to the highlight. We're going to leave the highlight blank. It's going to be the white of the paper, and we're going to work from the left to the right today to establish the shadows or the darkest areas first. I'm using my darkest green that I have, which is called dark green. You might not have the same shade, especially depending on what brand of colored pencils you're using or what type. That's okay. Whichever darkest green you have, that's the one we're working with in this value scale. Using a dark pressure application, we are establishing this to be the darkest value on our scale. And then after we're done with this box, we're going to move to the next box, and this will be our medium shadow or a darker green and eventually a darker greenish grayish tone. So we're using a little bit lighter application and filling this box in. And then we're going to continue moving down the scale with lighter pencil pressure as we work our way towards the highlight. And then remember, don't color anything in the highlight. The highlight is supposed to be the whitest piece of the paper, the shine, so we leave it blank. And once we've established the green value scale, we're going to pick up our black colored pencil. This is a different one, a different brand than the one I was originally using. So the texture is going to be a little bit different. So I have to apply a few more layers. But ideally, you want to take your black and color in with this box to layer on top of the dark green. You want to use a medium pencil pressure and then a harder pencil pressure. And once that's filled in, then you're going to go to the box next to your darkest value, and you're going to make that a medium gray green. And then you're going to go to the third box, and you're going to use the black pencil with a medium to light pressure application and layer on top of that green just ever so slightly so that it looks like it has a little bit of shadow, so it has more of a gray undertone to it. And I'm going to go ahead and go back with my dark green and apply one more layer on top of this box just to blend that black in and to also make it look a little bit darker. And then we're going to go back with our black colored pencil and add one more layer of black to our darkest shadow. And that way we can pump up the contrast. We have a really nice dark green on the left, we have our white on the right, and this provides a nice contrast and a bigger range of value for our drawing later on. And it's a good practice to label the studies that you do so you can remember which colors you used exactly and the application so you can recreate it later on. So I'm writing the labels from my colored pencils. Again, write your own label, which pencils you used for this exercise today. For this next value scale, I'm going to still use the same dark green and the same black, but I'm going to add another green, which is a medium tone of green from my pencil set, and this is going to lighten up the lighter values as we move towards the white and give us a bigger range of gradients. So if you are able to do this, you could use this for your project and it will add so much more depth to your application of color and value. So I'm starting with the dark green pencil that I have, and I'm using a medium pressure, and I'm gonna keep this pencil going throughout the value scale and lighten up my pencil pressure as I work my way through the middle and then towards the end where it tapers off and it transitions into the highlight, which we will not touch that area at all. And then I'm gonna grab the medium green that I have, and I'm gonna start in the middle with the medium pencil pressure and build up another layer of green and work my way through until I get to the area that's right before where the highlight is. And again, my pencil pressure is lessening and then leaving that box, that area white. And then I'm gonna get my black and I'm gonna take that pencil and I'm gonna layer it from the area that would be the darkest shadow and work my way to the middle of the value scale using the scale that we built above as a reference. Colored pencil is all about layering. So I'm going to go back with my dark green and I'm going to layer on top of the black that I just applied so that I can mix the black and blend it with the green underneath and then add another layer to deepen the value and give it more of a shadow and more depth to this part of the scale. I noticed I needed to go back and add some more green to that area that's right after the shadow. And so I went back and filled that in and then kept my pencil pressure going to even that dark green out as well. And now I'm taking the medium tone of green that I have and I'm giving it a nice application to the middle of the scale and then softening it and lightening that pressure as I work towards the highlight. And then I'm going to grab my black pencil and I'm going to again blend the layer that I have just added with green and add more black to deepen this shadow that we have on the left side of our value scale. Then I need to go back with that medium green, the one that's a little lighter, and I'm going to apply that green, working my way towards the shadow, so that way it can have more of a similar green tone that goes throughout the entire value scale. This way making it brighter, making them blend more flawlessly together, and then fixing any areas that I need to throughout the whole scale. All right, and our second value scale is complete. If you notice in the second value scale, there are more green tones and a wider range of gradients that have been created based on us layering our medium or lighter green pencil and our darker green pencil. And I would highly recommend that you practice this and apply it with your color of choice that you'll be using for your project. So after this, I would like for you to pick the color you'll be working with and do some practice value skills on your own. If you need to use the boxes, do that first and then apply another value scale just like we did underneath using a dark shade of your color choice and a light shade of your color choice and applying black to it instead of just two colored pencils. And practice this so that you can get comfortable with it and be able to apply it to your final monochromatic landscape project.